So that all means that Porto joined Besiktas in the last 16 and Leipzig go into Europe's second-tier competition. Also tonight, it means that with Manchester City, United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Liverpool now all qualified, it means that England is the first country to ever have 5 clubs in the last 16 of the Champions League.
Joanne, thanks very much indeed, and that's perhaps the most amazing and significant stat of the night, with 5 English teams through to the last 16, and one of them, Damien, well, Tottenham had the hard stuff done before tonight. They were always going to beat Apoel at Wembley, but 16 points out of a possible 18 in their group. It's some performance.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm hanging my hat on everyone, but again, I think they're potential winners. Alderweireld, he's obviously at Premier League level. They've struggled of late. He'll be back fit, you'd imagine, soon, definitely by February. Kane's obviously still scoring goals, but he's obviously not fully fit, and we're talking about it off air. Like, you can argue all day whether the Wembley thing is, you know, good or bad. I think home is your home, like as Liam said, and they miss being at White Hart Lane. You forget again. You look at Premier League, they're struggling. What they did to Madrid and Dortmund in this group, dominate them in the 4 games. And then Pochettino, I think if Zidane's troubles continue at Madrid, I don't think he'll ever be Barcelona manager because of the Espanyol link. He'd be, I'd imagine, they'd be gunning for him because I think he's a top manager, and a massive reason why I think they'll go far into the competition.
Yeah, while they're struggling, as Damien says, in the Premier League, what they haven't won in their last 4 league games, like, this competition has been really good for Pochettino and for this team. Like, his reputation continues to grow and grow.
Yeah, it's growing in Europe, that's for sure. As a result of their performances in the Champions League. In the Premier League, they're doing badly. And there's problems in the club about money, wages. And Danny Rose, who's a top player, fullback, he's the one who broke the omerta. Spoke about his wages, 63 grand a week, which, you know, is low. And I think Pochettino has to cope with that. And one thing I will say about him, he is very dignified and he conducts himself very well in difficult circumstances, because Daniel Levy runs that club, decides who comes, who goes, how much they get paid, and that's an untenable position for a talented coach like Pochettino.
Trying to build the stadium or pay for the stadium as well, like, that's... they need a team, they need a really successful team to put into that new ground, but it's a huge financial burden on them, Liam.
Yeah, and that's where they're going to struggle, and there is unrest at the club because a lot of the players are sought after. Harry Kane, Dele Alli,
Lloris, there's a big list.
The 2 centre-backs, Vertonghen and Alderweireld.
You know, Danny Rose, as Eamon said, could go to Manchester United in the window. So what Daniel Levy has done well at Spurs is that he got all those players, scouted them very, very well, and ensured that they were on long-term contracts, so he doesn't have to sell cheaply. He'll sell for a lot of money, and Tottenham will be healthy financially, but it's trying to keep the manager and trying to keep Spurs at the very top of the league may prove to be difficult.
They'll just have to start the cycle again with young players if they lose some of the guys who are worth so much.